I could draw. It's not great, huh? What do you think, David? I do wonder if we get bearish today, huh? A little rejection. I don't want it to happen, but I mean, I'm just kind of looking at where we're at. If you get enough trapped longs, and with that kind of short centering here, yeah, and that's the thing. David is absolutely right. David is saying we had this pattern before and it went up. And that's the other thing, you know, people see these bearish patterns. That's a bearish pattern in the highs. It's a diamond pattern, isn't it? And so that's how the pattern completes. People start shorting the pattern, yeah. But every pattern has a chance of failing, yeah. So while you might argue that this has a higher chance of succeeding, I don't know what the percentages are. Let's just say for the sake of argument, 60%. You've also got a 40% chance of failing, which would be, it could be anything. It could be this, fake out, or it could just be that, you know, whatever. And no one really knows. No one can predict that. In this type of idea, you long the lows and short the highs, and you trade the range. But here you're expecting higher lows, and here you're expecting lower highs on this side of the pattern. We're kind of about to break it now, potentially. But I think for confirmation, you'd kind of want this. Something like that. Yeah. That would be, like this SR flip, I think is probably going to become relevant because it's a previous pivot, which has kind of held here. And then the other thing to bear in mind is that this pivot definitely has held as support. This is the important pivot, this one, because it's the closest pivot to the price action after we had a move up. Yeah, these pivots can offer support, but this is the really important one. I'm not really too fussed about that one so much. I'm more interested in this one. And in my opinion, as long as we hold this as some kind of support, you see here it was front run a little bit. Here it held support. Could we get a situation where it just comes right back down to go up? Yeah, that would be a back test of this trend line. Another back test of this pivot. Shorts will take their profit. That's important, you know. And effectively, it will be a swing failure of this low here. So we'll get people really bearish, wouldn't it? Get people really bearish. That was to happen. Is there any kind of other confluence here? Let's have a little look. It's local price action. Kind of at the value area low of this little range. Little swing failure here. Right back into this pivot and this trend line. Throw in a liquidation. You could be in for a good long setup if it has the right reaction. And it's always about looking for the reaction first. It would be kind of coming back down. I mean, the lower the better, right? Without losing the pivots. And so you're looking for the price to come down and go right back up. The best ones are where you get really high volume. Yeah. If you get high volume and the price comes back up, then that's your signal. And so it's good to look at the candles and see if the volume increases. And then if you get a swing failure, it's not obviously at the golden pocket, but the golden pocket is quite low. I mean, I don't want it to come back into the golden pocket. That's the thing. It's just too lower. You don't want it to come down there. You want it to hold somewhere here. And then you want the price to reverse and make its way right back into the value area of this little range. get right back into above the point of control, above the neckline, above the midpoint of this diamond idea, and you've invalidated it, this becomes extremely bullish. So bearish patterns that are invalidated are bullish. They become bullish. Or bullish patterns that become invalidated become bearish. Yeah. So you have to flip quickly. So if you see a bearish pattern, which this is because it's a diamond pattern forming in the highs potentially, and obviously it could change and form something else. That's the other thing about patterns you have to bear in mind. While you might have, I might have this idea of something breaking out somehow to the top side. Yeah. Who knows? We could just be ranging here for a little bit longer. You know, no one really knows what's going to happen. But if you do have a little bit of a breakdown after you see some kind of diamond pattern, which is a bearish pattern like that, then, and you see that the price is just reversing at the local lows, finding liquidity and support and comes right back up, it becomes bullish. Yeah, it becomes, but once you kind of, if you were to come down, take out this low and then get right back into the value area low after swing failure with nice volume, you could, that's an easy buy. Invalidation at the local low put in, take profit at the point of control, and then you've got a really nice trade, potential trade there if you get a nice swing failure. Obviously take profit at the point of control, you would potentially. The value area low, I would normally say take profit there, but in this situation it's quite close. So it's too close really. And actually, if this was to happen, I think we would see a breakout if you have a bearish pattern invalidated. So you see, you'll get people short. That's the thing. That's what we want. We want people to short a bearish pattern only to get squeezed right into all-time highs. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. And obviously, I could be wrong. It's just one idea. And there's lots of ideas. I wonder if that's going to cause meme coins to pump. I've just been stopped out of Slurf, and it's trying to go back up. But that's fine. I didn't take a loss. It's just at the same price that got stopped out as. So I want to have a look at Slurf quickly as well, just because I need to know if I want to get back in. This is where I'm at right now, and let me just have a look at the daily candle because I didn't look at the candles. It's a hard one, this candle, because I'll tell you why. Because it closed. Oh no, actually, why is it hard? It only just, I mean, technically it's a bullish candle because it closed higher. So I think it's a bullish close because it's closed higher than the previous day low, high. Yeah, so it's a higher close, and we've also taken the liquidity from the highs. And the problem with this candle is that sometimes they can be reversed. Like when you get a weak close, so in a sense you could argue it's a weak close because it's closed. It hasn't closed as strong as, oh fuck, I got stopped out and the price has gone up. Slurp, you bastard. Shit, I hate it. Slurp wants to stop people, how it does. It's fine, I'll get back in if we reclaim the point of control. It's a tricky one, yeah. It's a tricky setup here because sometimes you can get the price come into these wicks and reverse. Let me see if I can find it for you. Here, look, see that? This is the one. This was different though. This is the all-time high, but you see how the price, this is actually a weaker close because it closed under the high, yeah. The next candle actually took the high before it rejected, but you got to be a little bit wary of those closes because sometimes they could reverse. Let me see if I can find another one here for you. Kind of something like that. when it just closes into a previous wick like that, it can reverse. I'm not expecting it, but anyway, just want to make you aware of that. All right, let's have a look at the weekly. So we're above the previous weekly high now. You see that? I find it very difficult to think that we're going to reject. Just looking at the current price action, seeing that it's only what day is it? Thursday. It's only Thursday. It could always do that. I am wondering if we just kind of fake out one time here. I mean, it's a hard one because also look on the CCI, I'm seeing massive bullish absorption. See this? This is the 1 hour time frame on Bitcoin. Look at the MACD. It's going down. Higher lows, making higher lows. That's hidden bullish divergence here. It means that the price is being absorbed across this whole range. You see your the CCI is going down. The price isn't going down, it's actually going up. So we're getting bullish divergences on the MACD and the CCI. So I am bullish. And as long as we just hold these support levels, I'm bullish. We are making higher lows. So obviously people are buying. And the good thing about higher lows is you can move your invalidation up. So I do wonder if we get a little squeeze down and then right back up for a short squeeze up. All right, that's what I'm thinking. All right, nothing changes until we start losing levels. Yeah, so obviously the first level that will start losing convincingly will be this first pivot, I think, because after you get some kind of drop, you won't get a reaction like this. Instead, you know, you'll get something more like that. Yeah, if you don't get a good reaction, obviously the other thing that can happen is you do get a reaction, but if it fails, same thing. So this is kind of more of a deeper drop, but possibly you get a reaction and then it's limp and it fails. Yeah, and so really this pivot's important. So I don't mind if we fake out just for a liquidity run, just to go back up, but you have to see it happen. If you're expecting something and it doesn't happen, then it's not happening. So change your view. Veg food lover BLR, how are you doing? Can you please check Gary? Gary's shit, dude. I looked at it yesterday. It was shit. What can I say? I've no good news for you. But I do actually, if you stay online long enough. Oh, why did I delete that? If you stay on long enough, I've got some amazing alpha for you. You can make a shit ton of money potentially if you stay on long enough. But if you just go, then you're gonna miss all the alpha. So Gary's rubbish though, dude. Diamond fake out. All right, that's kind of where I'm at with Bitcoin at the moment. Yeah, not to alarm people, but this is what I'm seeing. And strength here would be just going up and and that's the other thing. Right now, there's no need to buy or sell really in Bitcoin here. It makes no sense because you're gambling, because you know the price isn't moving. Look at this. Ideally, what you'd want to do is wait for a sign of strength. In the context here, a sign of strength would just be to go up there, flip that into support. Quite easy to see. If we can get above there and flip it into support, at least then you have an invalidation. It'll just be coming right back down. That would be your invalidation, okay? But if the price does start going up there, you'd expect it to continue going up. That's what you're expecting. If you see volume coming in and the price pushing up, don't fade out of that. You know, this is your moment. This is our moment of glory potentially. if we do have a mega squeeze, you want to catch it, you know. And even if you don't take profits early because you're expecting higher, just make sure you are careful that once you are in profit, either take some to protect your trade or set to break even, just in case this happens. You know, just you always have to be aware of that. Don't ever think that that can't happen. It can always happen. And so just be aware of that. Obviously, if you get stopped out prematurely, you see it's still moving, just get right back in and just have tight invalidations. It's not a big deal. It's, you know, when you're trading long at the highs, you have to be a lot more protective and careful. Yeah, if you look, a lot of traders say, I will never long at the highs. But if we're about to break out to $86,000, why not? Why wouldn't you? Of course you would, but you just have to be careful, because also at the highs you can get destroyed, especially if you're taking losses for every trade. And so the key is that each trade you take, that you don't take a loss. That's priority number one. So you either take enough profit in the first instance to protect your trade in case it gets stopped out, or you set to break even so you don't lose money once you're in profit. Yeah, you can't lose money on trades. That's not a good way to approach trading. Yeah, you have to even if you take a little bit of money, it's better than losing money. Making a little bit is always better than losing. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm not looking to long unless I see what I want to see down here. Okay. And if I see that, yeah, a nice long, just ride the wave. All right. Do you want me to go and have a look at Elliott waves? I'm not sure I'm going to bother, because it's quite time consuming and I don't think it's going to give us any insight. We either go up or we go down, really. I mean, that's it. And then obviously if we go sideways, it will be more like this. It will be more like fake out, fake to the downside, maybe make a lower high, you know, and continue being boring here. I mean, it could still go up, you know, it could still do that. I do think that if we get back into this diamond, then it will be extremely bullish and you'll start seeing a lot of volume coming in, especially after a big volume SFP of these lows and then the price reverses. I think in that situation, you're going to see quite a lot of bullish volume come in, and then all of these shorts that are building in this pattern will suddenly liquidate. Why? Because they're not looking to take profit. So that's just something to bear in mind. And this is good for us if we're looking to long, because if you're shorting here, you're not shorting to take profit and close your position 0.5% or 1% down, lower down. If someone is shorting here or trying to short here, guess what they're thinking? They're thinking down here. That's what greed really does impact the way people trade. That's greed, isn't it? They're thinking, let's break all of these support lines. Let's invalidate all of this bullish price action, all of this bullish divergence over the last few months. Let's ignore the bull market and let's aim for low. And they won't take profit. And so naturally, it's not a bad opportunity if we get this. And then obviously, if we do get this kind of price action where we get nice volume, swing failure, price starts moving up back into the value area, invalidate this pattern, and then we can have a really nice short squeeze to take out those highs that I was kind of imagining needed to be taken out as like a waterfall, like a cascade of SFPs. All right, that's my BTC update. David is saying at 130 unemployment claims normally creates volatility, so there you have it. It's probably safer to wait for the unemployment claims to come through before seeing what happens. If it gets volatile, it can get volatile to the upside and the downside. Of course, we could go down. Yeah, don't think that just because I'm imagining an invalidated bearish pattern that it's not. It could never. It can't just do this. Of course, it can. Actually, that would be correct. You could argue that the probabilities for this, actually, for a bearish pattern to complete, if that was to happen, you could still long. You just wouldn't long here because you didn't see the right reaction. You'd be longing lower down, huh? Now, the long lower down wouldn't be great. It would literally be a knife catch potentially for that. Just because I don't know if it's a good idea to just long willy-nilly into falling prices, unless you get like a real kind of an indication, and in my mind probably an SFP. So I wouldn't bother with the long unless there was an SFP. The SFP has to be the same kind of reaction you're looking for, increasing volume into the SFP. That's what you want to see. The volume has to increase, and then you can, if you get an SFP, then you can long that. But then again, you're not looking to take it up, you're only looking to capture the bounce. Okay, if this happens, it will look bearish, right? It will look really bearish, and so you'll start getting more people shorting. And I don't know if it's going to happen or not. If you're going to short, then your invalidation has to be that high. There's quite a wide invalidation, so it's not really worth it in terms of ROI. You could put your invalidation lower down because we are getting lower highs, but it's also, you know, it's also possible for the price to do this. I'll show you. You know, the price could also, especially if that news that's coming out later, could take the local highs without taking the higher high and do that. Yeah. And then if that was to happen, it would look like a head and shoulders pattern, wouldn't it? That would, I think this would look more bearish if that was to happen. If you get that, I think you could short that, take out the local highs, and then have the price drop down. Yeah, so David, the first thing I'm saying is a rise up and then push down. You can short these local highs because it could then crash, especially with the news. But that's what you're looking for. You're looking for the price to go up and then come right back down underneath the point of control. If that happens, you could probably short that. Just short that and you have an easy invalidation. Okay. Otherwise, the diamond pattern breaks to the downside. It could be, you know, diamond triangle, doesn't really matter. It breaks down and you get a nice back test of this pivot. Swing failure, this low, maybe that low. Who knows which low, really. One of these lows. You need to see volume and you need to see a reaction. So you need to see the price come back above that pivot. That could be a long. I think if you get a swing failure here in this kind of area, then we're probably, with volume, we're probably looking to invalidate this pattern to go up. And obviously that could happen. That would be really good if that happened with this. So this would be, in my mind, this would be the best, potentially the best case scenario. Up, down, up. It has happened before. Liquidate the shorts, liquidate the longs, and actually just push up. And market makers can do that. Yeah. All they do is they fat finger buy, fat finger sell, and then fat finger buy. 1, 2, 1. So if it's going to get volatile, just wait for the reaction and take the entry. That's short in my mind. I mean, again, you have to take profit. But obviously, you know, the other thing that can happen is just that. And so we're in a bit of a kind of interesting situation here where pretty much anything can happen. But probably the best trades will be seeing swing failures and taking them. And then obviously, ultimately, if we want to go up, we have to flip this area, this daily level and this kind of monthly level into support. There's no way that we're going to go up without flipping that into support. So naturally, you either wait for the flip or you long lower on it and have an entry. And the entry is going to be a swing failure, right? And then if we go up and reject first, then you can short that too, because we might not get the reaction here as well. Okay, so you'd want to be in a short if that was to happen, but then I don't know if I would short unless we lost the point of control after you have a reaction, because you know, you always have to bear that in mind if that was to happen. Ultimately, if you were to short there, you could bounce off the point of control. So it's probably, in this situation, lose the point of control. Yeah, lose it first. Doesn't really matter if you short the Pico top here, lose the point of control, then you'll start getting longs close at market. Then you want to be in a short when that happens. And then obviously you can long on the point of control if it holds as support, if we do that. But again, it'll be a lot safer to just have a reclaim. You see strength, follow the strength, see strength come in, reclaim that area for a long there, because then you would be thinking about a short squeeze going up. Yeah, so you have to kind of react quite fast and have it kind of prepared in your mind, these areas. All right, I don't know if that helped. It's not really helpful, to be honest with you, because basically what I'm saying, the price can go up and down, but that's the situation we're in now. We're just underneath the all-time high. We're consolidating. We've had quite a lot of impulsive moves. We've had a lot of fake outs, you know, and now we're here. And it's the crux. Does the price go up or down? I think up. Why? Because we had a really bullish monthly candle and we're going up. Look. I'm not contemplating, like, we're only at the beginning of the month, 6 days into the month. I'm not thinking down right now. We haven't even taken the liquidity from the highs. At least let's take the liquidity before we go down. At least let's get a rejection from the all-time high before we go down. This, for me, this makes no sense. If we were to go down from here, it would make absolutely no sense. You know, but who knows? Entertainment value only. That's Bitcoin. Any questions on that? If anyone has joined me for the first time, thank you. I think I've not seen